So again, what I was saying is this. You have to make plans for what you will do if your mate dies. You have to prepare for finances. Yeah, just like you've been preparing for finances for college and for finances, for funerals or whatever, and inheritance. You have to prepare. Of course, you don't know what day it's going to happen. Like, you don't know what day all that other stuff is going to happen, So what happened to me is, and lots of people, by the millions, is that when the mate dies, they take part of your money, or all of it. They took all of my money and gave me part of his money. Now, I needed both. I needed my money and his money to make 3 times the rent. See, that's how it goes, right? And with his last name, he has more credit than I do. So I'm going to get me an ID with his last name, which is my last name. Legally, I can use both of my last names, my maiden name and his name. That's legal. I put it on the marriage license that way on purpose. Okay? So here's the thing. Since I didn't get the ID right away and I didn't use his name because I wanted to be Miss Independence. Ain't nothing wrong with being Miss Independent, but you see, I didn't know that being Miss Independent was going to leave me with less than I need to survive. They took my food stamps. I was getting 279 food stamps. Just for me. They took it away. Right away. And no more housing. How you going to have Section 8 when you get a certain amount of money? They take the Section 8, which I don't care because Section 8 wasn't... Well, I do care about the money part, but they weren't doing their job. Like, they let me stay in an apartment that was so horrifying. When it rains in your apartment, that is horrifying. When you have to keep buying furniture and throwing furniture away because it rains in your apartment every time the neighbors turn on the water. And I didn't say a leak. I said the whole ceiling was raining, like outside, heavy rain. I have videos of it. Yeah. I still have yet to go to court for that because it's just so much mentally to deal with. I'm trying to move forward, not trying to go backwards to even deal with that, to be honest. I did a little part with that, legally and paperwork really fast and got over it quick to go move forward. Every day I have to move forward because while I was being Miss Independent, not even knowing that I was a survivor of a land flipping scam that took my credit all the way down to 0 at age 40. Do you know that credit took me all my life to build, honestly. And at age 40, my credit went all the way down to 0. See, so I'm getting real sick and tired of people getting on the internet that know me, people that know me saying, why are you still living over there? Why is this going on? Because obviously they didn't hear me when I said my credit went to 0. It's just making me mad just thinking about it. It makes me not want to talk to anybody in my family or someone close or a friend because, see, if you didn't hear me the first time, as serious as that is, or the second time or the 10th time I said it, or, why do I need to talk to you at all? Why ask me any questions if you're not going to hear me? You're wasting my breath. Okay? So next time, if someone can't remember what I said, don't ask me nothing stupid. I said it's stupid. I said it. It's stupid. Okay? I don't want to get upset. That's not what this videotape is about. So I started over on 0 at age 40. That's been 20 years that I've been trying to build credit. But still, I did it on my own independently without my husband's name, which would have gave me much clout. Much clout. Because his credit points were way over 750. You see? So now that I've expired all my resources on my own, I see no choice but to use my husband's last name. I'm a widow now. He's not around. I can't even call him up and say I need $1,000, which I wasn't even doing that when he was alive. I was never doing that. I mean, he gave me money while we were in the same apartment together, or we always had two apartments. But actually, since the accident, when I died and came back, he was too afraid to come near me. I just didn't see it all these years. He was afraid. He did not try to break in. This videotape is not about that. It's about making sure you be prepared when your mate dies. Some people are blessed and, good things happen for them after their mate dies. But that's not what happened to me and millions of others like me. They took my $279 food stamps. It's $300 in food. I'm paying straight cash. And even with the $300 food stamps, I was spending cash every month on food because I love to eat good food that costs much more than, cheap food. Cheap food doesn't keep you alive a long time. Only the food that costs too much keeps you alive for so long, a very long time, and corrects things inside of you that are wrong with you. Organ healing from foods. You can't get organ healing from cheap food. You cannot. You cannot. You will not. You will die just like a whole bunch of people in my family have died before age 60. They were definitely not eating fruits and veggies that were, when I say veggies, I'm not talking about overcooked veggies. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about fresh in a salad. Just raw veggies in a salad, straight up. Who cares if it gives you gas, as long as you live a lot longer? Who cares if it gives you gas, as long as your intestines are happy, because that's where life continues, from your intestines. It's your intestines that keeps everything wonderful. So that costs money. I bought a bag of oranges. They were $8 and some change. Okay? $8. And I need those oranges for new blood. That costs money. Okay? I'm not complaining. I'm saying you need to prepare. Now, I went and got some emergency little food stamps. They gave me $100. I got $8 left. And I have no meat, no rice, nothing to go with it. Nothing. I bought one little pack of hamburger for $4 and a pack, 2 steaks for $12. That's all the meat I had. My last piece of meat right here I made for breakfast, for the early breakfast show. I got a big container of oatmeal. I bought old-fashioned oatmeal. It's good. It combats against cancer and all kinds of things. It keeps your blood pressure down. I don't have blood pressure problems, but I bought something healthy. I got my oranges, a bag of oranges, because the orange juice is fake now. It's good for somebody who can just drink whatever they want, I guess. It's not good for me. I need all fresh food, everything. And if you have lupus, which is a form of cancer, which I refuse, I'm not doing no chemo. I'm sure if I would have did chemo, I'd be dead long time ago. There wouldn't be I've been dead, and the computer says I'm still dead. But I guarantee you, if I used a microwave oven every day, and I did chemo, which is really the same thing, scientifically, it's the same thing. I would have never got up out of that morgue. I would have been still in there. I would have been in that morgue and in the ground. There's no way I would have woke up in that morgue talking about, I'm thirsty. I'm thirsty. I hear music. That wouldn't have happened. That would have never happened if I would have had chemo like one of my family members told me coldly. I hadn't seen her for years and years. One of my mother's sisters. She didn't even know nothing. Not about what I'm talking about. Obviously, she don't. Obviously, she's one of those people that believes that you should just do whatever the doctor says, anything and everything he says, and including taking all of whatever they tell you to do, chemo, all of it. I'm not doing none of that. That's why I'm still here. I don't have to lie. I'm still here. I'm still talking. But my photos show that I'm really not here. Yeah. So, but while I'm existing in this realm and this dimension, I still need money to be somewhere. I need to be in 4 rooms with a bed to stretch my legs, and I need to be able to have my privacy, and I need to be able to buy more oranges and grapes, to make new blood and blackberries that cost $8 for a little container that only has like 10 blackberries in it, or 12 or 15 maybe, if you're blessed to find that. But it's worth it. It has to be done. It needs to be done. And after 3 days of eating those fruits, my legs are not hurting. Like, they were hurting excruciating pain. It felt like somebody was cutting my bones and my muscles and my veins. All of it. Fire in my veins. All of that. 3 days of eating fruit, and that has disappeared. And that is real. That is the truth. Not 100%. Because you know why? Because it has to be a constant thing. Can't be days mixed and missed of eating fruits. I said taking it like it's medicine, because it is. That's my medicine. It's everyone's medicine. God made it. But nobody wants to depend on that. Just very few. I won't say nobody. That's the wrong word. Very few people. They think that pills and that pills will replace the fruits and veggies. It's not. You can take all the pills you want. If you got problems, those pills are not going to save you. If you got problems and you're taking all kind of pills and you ain't taking no fruits and veggies, first of all, those pills going to break your organs down. Hello. And you ain't going to be able to fight against nothing. Then you wonder why you got a cold and all that. Cause your immune system is way down. Cause you ain't gave it nothing for it to be up. Them pills ain't helping your immune system. It's taking it down. Not bringing it up. But this ain't about medication. This is about money. This film is about money. And money buys real food that stops pain, stops arthritis, gives you new blood. I don't care what your blood condition is. You should be eating fruits and vegetables. It doesn't matter what your condition is. It doesn't matter what they're calling your little blood problem. It doesn't matter what they're calling your muscle problem. None of it. All their nice little neat names that they make up don't mean nothing. It all starts in your gut, in your blood, no matter what it is. That's why you got to keep that going. That costs a lot of money, unless you got a little piece of yard or some good pots. And, right now, I don't have a right to get any pots because I'm moving every week. Because what I found out is that the hotel is cheaper. I won't say it's cheaper. It costs the same for me to live at the hotel than it does for full rent. $2,000 and something a month, right? But here's the thing. I don't have no money left to eat or buy any clothes, which would be the same thing if I'm in an apartment The problem is, again, with that credit score, right? That credit score is not even 625. I believe last time I checked my credit score, it was 620. And that was about 3 months back. My credit score was 620. I went to so many apartments and they told me, we can't let you in with this credit score. I had cash in my hand. They didn't want that money. They want that credit score. What? Huh. That makes me so mad when I think about how many people are judging me that are in my family, always on the internet talking about, why are you still living there? Which I don't live there now. I live in the hotels. I say with an S because, you can only stay at a hotel for 28 days. Otherwise, they have to pay extra taxes, $300 a person or something like that. That stays more than 28 days. It's business. Business is business. Okay? Some hotels, it's 21 days. Then you got to leave for 24 hours and then you get to come back if you like it there. They like me here where I'm at right now. They like me so well. They just told me the other day, you like it here? We like you here. But in another week, you have to move and for 24 hours and you can come back if you like it. You want it. We like you here. You know why? Because I'm quiet. I don't have any company. That's why I'm bored and lonely. I have no company. None. I'm not looking for company. Okay? If I have company, it got to be only one person. It can't be 5 people, 3 people, none of that. Unless it's just some of my grandkids or something like that. Other than that, if it's grown people, no. I don't want to see if it ain't my grandkids, I don't want to see more than one person at a time unless the one person that bring their mate, like when my cousin Anthony came with his girl Sarah. Maybe, matter of fact, I might have to give them a buzz so I can get a couple pieces of fish because I don't have any more meat now. And I don't have any more money to get any food. And I'm not going to get on the bus and go so far away from where I am to go to a pantry to carry it all the way back here. Unless I get to be so starving to death. Right now, I guess I'll eat oatmeal with butter and sugarcane juice, which is very, very healthy. I got nuts over there to eat still. I have my nuts and raisins and prunes, dried fruits, and I have more grapes to eat and oranges to eat. I'm not going to starve to death right now. But you got to think about what you're going to do when your mate dies. Because now I went to the Social Security and I went to the VA. The VA wanted me to go to Social Security and apply for my husband's disability. He was 100%. The VA man told me to go apply for my husband's Social Security disability, whatever it was, something. No, the Social Security is actually the money he worked for. And as far as I know, I know when I went with him somewhere when he was alive and they told him that he made $500,000 at an airport, an airplane, he was an airplane inspector, parts, he inspected each part for the airplanes. He made $500,000. Now, many celebrities have a lot more than that. So we're not talking about celebrities right now. We're talking about regular people that don't have any money. They're just living on regular money. That's what we're talking about. We're not talking about rich people money. We're talking about regular people. Poor and medium. That's what I'm talking about. Period. I'm not talking about nobody that makes all kinds of money. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about poor people again. So here it is. Now I see I had to go to the VA. Because now I need to use his name, which is my name, legal. Now I need to get down off my pride of I'm innocent. I'm sorry. Yeah, I am innocent a lot. I'm independent and I don't want to use that. Well, those days are dead and over. My husband's dead and those days are dead and over for me. because I'm surviving barely. I'm very grateful that from my husband's money, I have enough to pay for 4 weeks of the hotel, which I said is true. It's the same amount of money that I'll be paying for an apartment that's a little over $2,000 a month. And still I wouldn't have nothing to eat, and I wouldn't have any money to buy any furniture or anything, Well, in this hotel room, there's a bed. I had an opportunity for many apartments, but like I said, they didn't want my little credit score. So I think with my husband's name comes his credit score. Someone told me not to use his name because it might come with his bills. I understand that. But if I was going to have to pay some bills, whether I use his name or not, that is still legally my name, I would have already received those bills. I haven't received any bills in my husband's name that I have to pay. And I need those credit points. I need his credit points to survive. Now I have to go back to the VA. I have his award letter showing that he was 100%, because right now I'm just getting half of what I'm supposed to get. Because all that paperwork got locked up in that apartment. I kept saying, I'm leaving here, I'm not staying here, because people get murdered outside. Too much for me. Too much fighting, too much murder, too much lust, just too much of all of it. It was constant. It's not like I could ignore it when there was no insulation in the walls. So many people had so much judgment about it, like, oh, it's no big deal. She's just over the top. And for all of you that said I was over the top, God forgive me, but I hope that they have to experience it. You're not supposed to wish that on people, but some people need to experience things so they can shut their mouth and understand something for a change. Instead of talking about stuff they don't understand, judging people on something they have not experienced, and then have the nerve to not even have any compassion about it. But that's not what this show is about. This show is about make sure that you got a little plan on what you're going to do when your spouse is dead. Now, I come up with this plan late because, and actually it's not my plan. This is the veterans plan for me from the beginning. That I didn't even go over there and let them help me to get everything I needed. And basically I wouldn't be stuck in this situation right now, which I'm not stuck in it. But I wouldn't be in this little stepping stone or whatever it is. On this part of the stairs, I'm trying to climb up those stairs. Because that was stolen from me. A land flipping scheme is stealing. They stole from me. And there's plenty of people that pretend like they don't understand. I don't care if you don't understand. Just keep your mouth closed when it comes to me. Okay? With all that. Why was she staying there? Why was she there if it was dangerous? You don't want to experience it. You should really be quiet. Because here's the thing. I don't have to wish it. It's karma. It's karma. Do you know how many times I've experienced karma? Because of, judgment on things I didn't know about that I was just sure that I thought that I knew the answer to. Like when I was in my 30s and before I bought the house, and I say, oh, there's a whole bunch of people that are homeless. They don't want no apartment. They don't want the apartment. They just like living free or whatever. They don't want, and sometimes that's true, but that ain't true for everybody. Well, why are they still homeless? They've been homeless for years. And then when when that land flipping scam happened, I was homeless for 2.5 years. 2.5 years. Looking, searching for people. You know what I really hate when they say, well, have you been looking for an apartment? I hate that question more than everything on this planet. Because you sound stupid. It's just making me mad just thinking about it. Ooh. Okay. Have you been looking? What? Have you been looking? Did you send me a phone number? Did you pick me up and bring me to many apartments to check on? Because if you didn't do none of that, you should never, ever, ever open your mouth. It's not your responsibility to do it. It's also not your responsibility to judge me. You should keep your mouth shut, keep your pie hole closed, okay? Because you don't want no karma. You definitely don't want to have nightmares that you're me. You don't want to dream that you're me and feeling everything I'm feeling. Everything. You don't want that. Ooh, you don't want that. You don't want that. You know? So here's the thing. The VA has a plan for me. I had to go over there, you see. I had no choice but to stop just depending on me. I had to realize that I did need help from the beginning. So I have to put down my beautiful lady independent pride and let it ride all the way to the VA. I already filled out some paperwork there. I got something on my phone I need. I got something at the library I need. Today is Monday. A new day to do more business and get the ball rolling faster. See? It doesn't matter how much money I have to save when they won't even let me in their apartment. Like I'm a slave. My credit score is so low. Just a little 5 points down. And even that 5 little points down gets me the raggediest apartments available. I didn't say the best. I said the raggediest apartments available. But it would be mine. And I could always fix it up. That little extra 5 points that I need will get me a beautiful trailer house. You see? The little, not the big pretty ones, the big old ugly ones. I don't care. I could fix it up with my share of the little money I get left over. You see, I have hopes and dreams. And I really hope and dream. And I hope and I believe that my dreams are coming true. Slowly, slowly, slowly they come through. I just hope that all of you who are married, male and female, receive this message without any confusion. And understand that you gotta make plans now. You gotta make plans on where you're gonna live, what you're gonna do. Because when your spouse dies, they take your money. They take money to give money. That doesn't make sense, but it's real. Before you get money, you get real broke first. You get so broke. Broke. Better think real good about what your next move is, just in case. It's really smart if you have any kind of way to just steal away at least $10. $10, it don't seem like nothing. I'm talking to poor people, not people with lots of money. But hey, if you're a woman or a man with with a mate with lots of money and and it's not yours, then you should be listening too. You should be listening too, because before they give you money, they take all your money. You might get a lump sum. Yeah, that lasts about a year. Then what you gonna do, my dear? You better have your plans ready. I had plans. They fell through the floor. I had plans. I'm going to try it once more. But this time, I'm not going to do it. I'm not involving the family. I'm sorry. And I'm not sorry. Because, see, while I was focusing on, oh, come with me, let's do this together, all I got was taken to the bank a lot, and people just wanted more money. But I didn't get to go search all the houses I need to search. All these people got cars in my family but me. I don't want to hear, well, why ain't you got a car? That's not nothing to do with this. Because that sounds ignorant. Because that's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about I had plans that I wanted to share with the whole family that fell through. Just like the music. I wanted to share all my money with the whole family. How can I? They're not helping me make the money. I can't share the money if they're not helping me make the money. I don't care if it's on silent. I don't care if they put the motherfucking music on mute, as long as it's playing, so I can get paid. Everybody knows I share everything I got. I give it away. So why won't you give it a play? Huh? But that ain't about that right now. My husband's money's guaranteed. That music ain't guaranteed. It's only guaranteed when you have support, for real support. Not people just saying, oh, I love her, I love my family. That ain't got nothing to do with people pushing play and letting a song play that just only takes 3 damn minutes. I don't give a fuck. Put it on repeat and put it on mute while you're watching your movie. Who cares? As long as I'm making the money and I can share it. I can share. But see, I'm done with all the sharing because I'm not getting any support to see the resources ran out because I wasn't getting any support to keep the resources going. You see? That's why some people stay poor. They never get ahead because they don't support each other. It's called unity. Unity. Unity has nothing to do with people back talking everybody and turning people against each other, but you ain't contributing nothing but your mouth and your nasty mouth and your nasty judgments and your nasty words. But what are you contributing as far as making sure that we all have what we need forever, like a legacy? Hello? Nobody cares about words. What are you contributing to the family unity to make the money grow? Grow the money, grow the money, grow. What? And it doesn't consist of any muscle work. Now, I'm done talking about that. So when I get paid, again, I don't want people getting upset and saying, oh, she disappeared. She don't talk to us no more. Because I already gave and gave and gave while I was poor. With no support. Barely. Okay? Barely. It took me a year to make 16 cents. What kind of support is that? What is that all about? So it's just, my stuff was playing randomly on the radio. Not anybody choosing it. I don't want to think about this anymore because it's way too much. That part is way too much. How many family members I have, I can't count. I can't even keep up with all the names. What? I don't want to think about it anymore because I didn't ask nobody for $1. All you had to do was push play on the damn songs. Point blank, period. And that's making me mad. I don't want to think about it anymore. And when I'm not going to say it again. It's not a threat. It's real. This is real. I said I'm going to stay in Massachusetts when I get paid for real. But I don't know. I don't know. I want to be close to the family, but why? I don't even see the family. Nobody calls me. But this is not what this is about. But it is and it's not. See, that's what makes you even more need to start planning. You got to have a plan when your mate dies. You got to have a plan for your money. Money's not number one. It's number one as far as surviving. Survival. No, I'm not going to buy no cheap food. What is it good is it if I buy cheap food and I'll die and I'll be sick all